Hello and welcome once more to Soundcheck with Pathos and Logos. I'm Pathos, he's Logos. Oh, wait, am I Pathos and your Logos? Or does...
I'm Pathos, your Logos.
We're both Pathos, Logos has left. Ethos was turned to stone by a Gorgon, and we don't know where they are.
Good use of Gorgon, by the way. I didn't think when I woke up today I was going to hear anybody use the term Gorgon.
You didn't see Gorgon coming. Neither did Ethos, buddy, and that's why they're stoned now.
Totally blindsided by that one.
Kyle, what is your entire life sparing absolutely no detail?
Sparing absolutely no detail?
I want to know it all.
Life is good, buddy.
You gotta
life is
love
good.
that.
I'm living life, as the Eagles would say, in the fast lane. Ooh, that's right, bud. That's
In
right.
the immortal words of the great philosophers, the Eagles, life in the fast lane.
Yeah, man. It's been good. We're still kind of getting over the what would you call it? Like the holiday hump,
Sure.
I guess. Right.
It's only been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's only been a couple of weeks, so we're still getting over the holiday hump. Like all the family members are kind of getting back to their faraway lands and stuff like that.
That's right.
And so, yeah, just kind of been getting back to work. We've been working on the new record. We've been working very hard on the new record.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
And we upgraded the studio. I think I mentioned that a couple weeks before. Loving the new Avalon U5. It sounds so good. Yeah, for all you gear sluts out there, gear sluts out there, definitely pick yourself up an Avalon U5. It's I've used a lot of DIs before, but for a preamp / DI, it is fantastic. So yeah, definitely pick yourself up one of those. That's what I've been doing, man. I've been, little this, little that. What about you?
Doing a couple of these. I did one of this once.
Bing!
That
That's
whole
the sound it
situation. Kyle, I just over the course of the last couple of days, I got sucked down weird rabbit holes on YouTube. The way that it can just sort of get you out of nowhere. I'm watching something about the history of some band, and then through some unpredictable and strange series of machinations I don't understand, I'm watching about holometabolous metamorphosis in insects. Be like, they digest their whole body and reconfigure their entire cellular structure.
Attenborough's like, yes, they do.
Yeah, David Attenborough just appears from the mist.
Yeah.
Well, yes, they do.
It is a slippery slope, that YouTube. I mean, it's because it's algorithm driven, like everything else these days.
That's
we
right.
live in an algorithmic culture. I have to when I'm on YouTube, if I'm logged in on in my account, I am very choosy about what videos I watch, even just for a second, dude.
Right, dude.
Because if you watch one sad puppy video, what are you going to get? 80,000 sad puppy videos. And I mean, I love puppies, y'all.
And then you're not on YouTube and you're using some other app, or you're reading the news or something, and a news ticker pops up for puppy food.
Yes.
So it's... Yeah,
it's funny you say that, because my wife has been learning a second language. She's been learning Espanol.
Look at that.
And so we've been joking that because she's using, I don't know, what is it, Duolingo or something like that?
Emily is actually also learning Spanish on Duolingo.
Are we, as guys, are we missing the boat on something?
There's got to be something. We're fucking up, dude.
We need to get on
together.
Pinterest, I guess. But so she's doing all her lessons in Spanish, right?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, Tubi ads, all Spanish.
Right.
Right? You get things on Instagram that pop up, all in Spanish,
I didn't entirely believe it. I feel like it's just taken for granted now that the internet is keeping track of literally everything that you do. I distinctly remember, and I'll name names, dude. I had an iPhone at the time. In 2015, I was talking to I did not a search, not a Google search, nothing. I was talking to my wife about a drummer named Omar Hakim. Omar Hakim, brilliant fusion musician. He was on Sting's Island of the Blue Turtles record with Branford Marsalis on sax and stuff like that. So obviously Omar Hakim is not a name like John Smith or something like that where you could get it twisted. And then just saying saying Candyman in the mirror with the lights off 5 times, and then he suddenly appears. I said his name several times to my wife, and then go on YouTube. First thing recommended to me, Omar Hakim video, dude. They're just clocking us. It's old news now. It's like part of comedians' comedy routines now. You know, it's old news now.
Yeah, it's just you've just accepted it at this point.
Well, no, if anything, I think that's part of the reason why I continue to bring it up, because I do not accept it. It doesn't make it okay that they do that to us just because everybody's used to it.
You know what? Now. You're right. It doesn't make it acceptable that they do that. And it comes up like, I'm just going to dive right into it. It comes up on Spotify, right? So I know everybody hates Spotify, but I'll be honest with you. I use Spotify. I listen to Spotify. But what I've noticed now a lot, like with YouTube, is I have to curate what I'm listening to. Like, say, because you finish an album, right? Say you finish, Black Dahlia Murder's Nocturnal album on Spotify, and then it starts recommending you other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you have to check and make sure that the other stuff isn't AI music now, right? Because if you just listen to one AI track, they're gonna feed you a whole shit list of a bunch of other AI tracks.
Yeah, you could go 5 hours without listening to music made by an actual fucking human.
Yeah, and if you don't know, or if you're not being cognitive of checking on that kind of stuff, and you listen through to it, then it's going to keep feeding you that.
Right.
And that's where I'm like, yeah, we got a problem.
Yeah, we might have to break up with Spotify, guys. It's starting to get a little grisly out there.
Well, it makes me wonder if there's another service that's going to step up.
There will almost have to, dude. Again, we said this actually a couple of weeks ago on one of the other shows, where like human-made or something like that is going to start becoming a kind of a backwards like gold standard.
Yes.
You can feel a sense of like a combination of words and a style of thinking you never thought you were going to have to encounter. But like, I only listen to music that's human made. It's the new organic.
It is.
Yeah,
exactly. I only eat organic. I only consume art that's human made.
Right.
And that's, is that bad? I think that's fine.
No, I think it's fine. I think it's more just crazy that is an assertion that humans are going to have to start making now.
Yeah, they're going to have to like put that as a label on stuff.
Like it's some kind of...
I noticed actually iHeartRadio, if you guys are familiar with iHeartRadio, they have a little blurb at the beginning of any of their like broadcasts or whatever that says always human.
Yeah.
And I question whether or not it's an AI voice that's even saying that to me, to be quite honest with you. So, anyway, that's what's been going on with me. Is it time to bring on our guest?
You know that it is. Do you want to do it? Should I do it? Should we do it? I'll do it. I'm gonna invite them on. Within the mosaic and the tapestry of their music are all of the great formulae of the universe, laden with power. Beautiful humans, wonderful human beings. We're very happy that we were finally able to get them on the show. Everybody, please put your hands together for the geniuses of Jellyfish Farm. We got an extra mic right here. For when we interview Hercules. Yeah. Hercules, what do you think about the state of the world?
It's
Woof. That's right.
That was a good joke.
Well done. Actually, the puppy sniff. That was great. Guys, thank you for being our first like full band. Well, okay, no. Strictly speaking, there have been full bands that were just not four individuals. But you guys are our first. Like, wow, there's four dudes on the couch right now. How's everybody doing in the beginning of the new year? How we all doing?
Doing okay.
That's good.
A lot better than last year.
Yeah, technically speaking, so far, 2026 is better than 2025 was. How was the ride over? Was there lots of traffic? Because are you guys all Greeley?
No, I'm from Denver.
Oh, no shit, dude.
Yeah, the weekends are usually fine as long as you avoid the Broncos games or some sort of Nuggets game or any game for the major sports teams we have. You'll be
As
fine.
long as there's no game going
As long
on
as there's
in
no
Denver.
game going on, you're fine. It's really. I mean, there's been a couple of times when I've stayed over the night over like Doug's house or something like that.
Oh, sure.
And like driving back at 9 a.m. is miserable. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, dude.
But it's we do it all for the band, you know, for
Yeah, I
the
was
love
gonna
of
say,
it, for the
I
love
mean,
of the game.
For the love of the game, baby. And you know what? Come to think of it, so have you always lived in Denver, Hugo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really have plans to move out of Denver. I've been trying to get these guys to move down to Denver.
Hugo's not happening.
It's not as easy. Yeah.
No, and he's such a trooper because since all four of us or three of us are in Greeley, he's always the one who has to make the trek.
But I think what immediately occurs to me is you've been making that trek for a long time. How long
yeah.
has Jellyfish Farm been a band, guys?
It started
I'd
off
also
with-
like to know.
Yeah. Garrett is about to get some lore too. I started writing music for Jellyfish Farm right around like junior to like senior year of high school. Like I guess really like taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And then I met Hugo through a mutual friend who I went to a show with a different set of friends. And then he was like, "Hey, like, what are you doing now?" Like, and I was like, "Oh, I'm just writing at home or whatever." And he was like, "Oh, like, what kind of like stuff are you kind of writing?" And so I told him it was more like, at the time I really only had math rock or like jazz rock to kind of explain it.
Right.
Fusion rock, I guess, is what it is now, I guess. But yeah, I met Hugo through him because he was like, "Oh, my friend," like, I told him about CHON and just Polyphia and those kind of like math or like weird, crazy instrumental rock bands.
Yeah.
But yeah, I told him about CHON and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, my friend really likes CHON," and as you can tell, he definitely
Still repping.
still repping.
Still repping, dude.
But yeah, I met him through that, and then Doug and me have been friends pretty much since middle school.
No
and so
shit.
when I moved here, I moved from Wyoming.
Oh,
and
okay.
Doug was one of the first people that I kind of like clicked really hard with when I moved here. And yeah, we've been friends pretty much since then, and we grew up playing guitar together. And it's funny because when I asked him to join the band, he was the bass player.
Oh.
And Tyler was the one that played guitar for us at first.
That's right. That I did know. I remember, obviously, sort of the Tyler era.
Yeah.
But
and Tyler was a really big part of like our music growing up too, because we all kind of like, played guitar and we tried to do a lot of band stuff together, but it never really got anywhere. And then, when I met Hugo, we took it a little more seriously, and then we got offered a show once, and that was kind of like the catalyst to what started the band to be a professional, like more professional band.
yeah.
But yeah, we played our first show. One of our friends arranged a festival, and I asked Tyler and Doug to fill in, not like just for temp, and then they liked it so much they just ended up staying for a while, and so that was really cool. I'm really happy that they did because we're still doing it, we're still trying, and a big part of it is just keep going.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, the amount of being successful with what you're doing, the amount of it that is just purely stick-to-itiveness, because it has woven into it adaptability. Sometimes you have to change course. Sometimes you've replaced a member, or you, in some cases, have to reevaluate the entire approach you're taking to being a band. But you, like I think you were saying, just sort of at its core is just keep going, dude. Just keep going. I was going to ask you guys something, and then I completely forgot what it was. What I did actually want to ask you, though, was just right out of the gate, what could you, because it's hard to do, because there are a lot of influences. Obviously, you guys are excellent, not just good musicians, you guys are excellent musicians, and you incorporate a lot of different vibes, a lot of different sounds into the sound of Jellyfish Farm. Could you pin down a single term to describe your music?
Probably fusion, right?
Some like fusion. I don't know. We just put it's jellycore on the Instagram just because we're like everyone's doing it. Just put jellycore. There we go. I don't know. If I were to explain it to people, the way I explain it to people, it's if you take like rock, jazz, and metal, and you just kind of all make a kiss.
now kiss.
Exactly.
In a weird triangle.
Because
That's
like,
right.
there's been a joke running for a long time in the band where I think it was like 2022 or something like that. We were just playing show after show after show,
Yeah.
and none of them were even the remote same genre. Remember that? So we just kind of got into. I guess we just fit in anywhere. Like there was metal
Right.
show, sure. A pop punk show, sure. Like we'll take whatever comes our way. So and we've kind of meshed with all of it pretty well at this
Yes.
point. So we're just kind of this weird like amalgamation of just everything.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A super gray band that fits into all these different colors. We blend into a lot of things because there's elements of rock,
Of a
and
lot
metal,
of different
jazz,
stuff, man.
To shoegaze stuff, even I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, one of the things that immediately jumped out at me when I was just sort of researching the band and listening to some of the music and stuff was it is true that all of those different genres and energies are combined in one place in Jellyfish Farm, but all of them you have to be able to play. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things that immediately jumps out is like you can't be half-stepping, man. Like it's the kind of music that intrinsically demands not just that you guys get together some baseline level amount to practice as a band, but technical fluency that also demands that you're practicing individually, dude. You can't, there's some amount of, there's a lot of mechanics going on in there, man. And thank you so much for that. As previously stated, I love my job. I love what I do. And I try my best to maintain the perspective, particularly when it comes to the kids that I teach, that people come to music for different reasons. Some kids are 9 and know that they love Lorna Shore. And some kids are 13 and they're like, I don't know, my dad just drops me off here. So everybody, you know what I mean, dude? So like everybody's motivation is different, but you just, in that line of work, giving music lessons, you do just teach a lot of music that, it comes from a certain formula, and again, no shade to the formula. That formula makes a lot of popular artists a lot of money, and there is an art form to that. You can't just write a song that is going to resonate with millions of people. There is a craft to that. But I'm listening to your guys' EP, and I'm like, oh, they're so good. Now kiss. It just felt good, boys. It did. It just, thank you for what you're doing. So now, before we started filming, you were talking a little bit, it looks sort of the way that we're all of us now responsible for being more than just dudes who make songs, right? We don't just get to be dudes who make songs anymore. I say that not in a lamenting way. It's just the nature of the beast and has been for some time. You were talking about, shout to Tyler, because Tyler will be participating in this, just putting out the playthrough videos, because as an instrumental project, that's a significant part of the appeal. It's such gymnastic music. So when are your guys' plans to start producing and releasing those videos so that I can watch them 100 times a day? When's that on deck? Is that still coalescing, or do you have dates set? Or
Not any specific dates as far as I'm aware, but we're always trying to do stuff as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just we're not committed to any shows or anything right now, so our time is kind of fluid, which is nice.
yes.
So we're trying to divvy that between we're trying to set up a website that he was talking a lot to us about, and
I think right. So one thing that about us, all of us, we commit to bits. Like we commit to bits through and through. So I think one of the things that we're kind of coming up with right now is we're trying to come up with ideas for videos to make them interesting and kind of stand us out from everybody else.
Yes.
Like one of the songs is called Conchas, which I don't know if in Mexican culture, I don't know if you guys know this. It is a pastry that they make. Yeah. So him and all of us were talking. We're like, what if we got into like one of these panaderias and did a video there.
And a panaderia is a Mexican bakery.
Yeah, it's a Mexican bakery. So we do something like that. Or like for Tsukuyumi, we were talking at one point where we were going to do it at the top of a building in Denver. Because at the time I was working at right across the street from, not even across the street, on the same parking lot as the Pepsi Center.
Oh, no
So
shit.
we were like kind of talking. I was like, what if we do a music video up there?
Yeah.
And then kind of have that as a background and stuff like that. So I think right now a lot of what we're doing is just kind of coming up with ideas and kind of solidifying everything.
Yeah.
So then that way when we do come to the table, we know exactly what we want, and we're not just kind of sitting there scrambling, trying to make a video.
Right. Yeah, a little bit of forethought put into what
Yeah,
you're doing.
exactly.
And because it's so significant. It's weird to. No, I'll still say it. It is still weird. There's the part of you that you just still wanna, but I just want to make songs. That's what I spent thousands of fucking hours of time learning to do at a level that is competitive with my contemporaries. But so it's a double-edged sword because it imposes on you, okay, now we have to produce all this extra content. But then by that reckoning, it also creates a lot of new opportunity, and it gets to add dimension and sort of texture your creative efforts with new energy that you might that none of us maybe would have been able to do if it was for the maintenance of the status quo. So it sounds like plans within plans. Getting it done, dude.
Yeah.
That's
I think
great.
the coolest thing about our band too, it's obviously a little different for you guys because there's only two of you.
Right.
But with us, we're missing a guy. We also have a trumpet player named Jeremy. He lives in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, Wisconsin.
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 We don't know exactly where he lives.
Somewhere.
Oh, yeah. We don't know exactly where he lives. It's Chicago-ish.
Yeah,
Somewhere around
Madison, somewhere around
The
there.
Midwestlands.
Yeah.
Somewhere. He's very Midwestern too. It's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Is he Midwest as fuck?
He's Midwestern as hell, man. We love him though. Shout out to Jeremy.
But the cool thing with our band, I think, is like with having so many members, like everyone has their own like unique talents. So like while everyone's like I'm a guitar player, Hugo's a drummer, Doug's a guitar player, Garrett's a bass player, and Jeremy's a trumpet player. Me and Doug, we used to do a lot of video editing, so we have a little bit of video editing under our belts.
There you go.
Photo editing. Hugo's a mechanic. He used to do a lot of mechanic stuff.
Fucking A, dude. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Gareth, we've yet to figure out his special talents, but
We'll figure it out.
we're gonna
We'll
find him
put
out
him,
real
we'll put him
quick.
to work at some point.
yeah.
I like
But-
to keep him close to my chest. You guys will see him though.
Okay, all right.
We're gonna take his shirt off later, and we'll find out.
Yay.
You'll find my special talents. Just you wait.
You heard it here first, y'all. Now kiss. I'll let that gag go. I will. I'll let the gag go. So actually, you made mentioned something just now about the fact that Kyle and I are just like a two-dude band. So we always joke about how like the band text thread is you just text one dude.
Oh, fuck.
Like, do you want to play in St. Paul?
God, that sounds so
That's good,
nice.
yeah.
You do- so then and again too and the way that when we do go out on the road and everything like that, it's based upon sort of a two-dude system. He brings his Kemper, I will just arrange it in advance with one of the bands for the night that I just play that person's kit when we get there. I just come out with my pedals and stuff, and I'm like an academic. I'm like a scholarly, nerdy guy. I have a jazz background. I'm not out here punching the snare drum. So, although I did fucking explode a dude's kick drum head in Lincoln, Nebraska, I am a double bass player, and he was not a double bass player. I had to Venmo a guy $50 on the spot. It was crazy.
He was not impressed with
He
you.
was super not happy with me. But I had my kick drum. I was just being a lazy fucking piece of shit, gavon fuck. And I left it in the car. So mercifully, I actually did have a kick drum that the guy could use. But I think the ultimate point simply being that our entire thing when it comes to travel and being a band and creating everything is predicated on this like two-dude system. So do you guys, have you played like out of state a whole lot. You guys, we're not all like 21-year-old kids anymore. It requires a certain amount of coordination. Right. So what does that look like for you guys when you have to coordinate anything ranging from, with you being in Denver, everybody else being up here? What is that like for travel, fellas?
Well, I'm usually the one doing most of the traveling. So
Hugo's like, I thought we established.
Yeah,
this.
I do all the traveling around here. No, we did go to on a tour with Turquoise at one point. We went to Utah.
Yeah, we did go out of state.
We went to Utah, and then we were trying to get into New Mexico, but we couldn't for some reason. I didn't.
That's so real.
A lot of it was just kind of like tempering our expectations. We weren't really sure how a string of shows was gonna go, and we were still we still consider ourselves like a smaller band. I mean, obviously we're like at a local level still, but we were just worried that it wasn't gonna go well. But halfway through, we realized we probably could have gone farther than this.
Yeah.
Everything was we were turning everything okay. Everything was kind of feeling good, and even the travel wasn't too bad. We did drive through a snowstorm, which was a little self-imposed.
We were playing in Fort Collins, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Fort Collins. So we were in the car in Fort Collins, and we go, all right, guys, there's a snowstorm. We got two options. We either take the Wyoming route, the super dangerous one, or we take the safe one through I-70. Right. But it's longer. So one's shorter, one's longer. Which one do we take? And I think all of us collectively went, yeah, we're taking I-70. Screw that. I'm going to get there.
Right, dude.
So... this is back when we had another bass player at the time, our boy Ori, but he passed out immediately, and then I'm looking at these two in the front, and they're just like, "Don't worry, guys, we'll stay up all night." All right, cool, gotcha, that's fine. I go to sleep. I wake up at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. So these two are goobing out. They're just laughing at the dumbest stuff, just going off. And I'm just like, what is going on right now? What the hell? We're in the middle of Utah. These two are just goobing out. And I'm just like, all right. So then at that point, I was like, you guys want me to take over? So they're like, yes, please take over. So then I take over. I take Ori in front, and I go, Ori, do not fall asleep. I need you here.
Right, dude.
He gets in. He's like, I got you, dude. 30 minutes later, he's just
assed out.
Done. I was like, damn.
The struggle is so real.
Yeah. I look behind. These two are out. So then I'm like, all right, fine. So then we finally get to Salt Lake City, and a snowstorm just hits Salt Lake City. And it's not one of those little dustings. It is a proper
going for it.
Going for it. So I have a trailer. This is my first time driving a car with a trailer too. Everyone's asleep. And I'm just like, well, this is fun. So at one point, the car's kind of moving around, and I hear Alan wake up. And he's just like, what's going on? I might go back to sleep.
I'm so glad I did. I would have been so stressed out because we were going down a hill when I woke up, and I don't know. I was just like, I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Yes, go back to sleep.
I don't know if I need this right now.
Fuck reality.
Yeah, but that's kind of how we operated as a band. We kind of just talk to everybody, see how everyone's doing.
Like you do.
Yeah,
like you do.
I mean...
Dude, the whole getting loopy from staying up all night on the road, that is absolutely a thing. And Paul and I we've probably lost many brain cells from doing that because it's just the two of us, you know? So, and generally, at the end of the run, wherever we're at, Idaho or Montana or Texas or Arizona or wherever, the end of the run, it's just we look at each other at the end of the show and it's like, do you want to stay the night and wake up early tomorrow morning and drive, or do you just want to start going home now? And the answer is always, we want to start going home now. Yeah. Dude. And so, dude, we'll be up for 36 hours at that point. By the time we get back to the house at 12 o'clock in the afternoon the next day, and we're both just like, what the fuck is going on? laughing at
human creatures,
laughing at the dumbest stuff. I mean,
that's exactly what was happening there. I woke up these guys are just like Patrick and SpongeBob up front,
basically,
just
dude.
Nope, that's what
going off.
Dude, we were.
Your brain turns to mush.
One of the last times we traveled. Don't ask me why I remember this. I could never account for this. It's the same reason why I can remember the 3 lines that I had in a play that I was in when I was in 3rd grade. You just don't know why your brain hangs on to stuff. We were laughing our dicks off about something to do with fucking a witch at a truck stop. Like, what its origin was, I will never remember.
It doesn't even matter.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But the ultimate point being like, yeah, dude, it works on you. And I think that traveling too also like galvanizes or helps to generate new faculties inside of you. Like, I was not particularly road hardy when we first started to travel. Like, I'm notorious for the, like, Kyle and I would be out partying, and like Paul's out here like, we're gonna live forever. And then literally, you know what I mean?
It's true.
You know,
what he's saying is 100% true.
So that applied to a lot of arenas in my life. I was not particularly road hardy at first, but all of the traveling that we were doing were like Kyle's driving for 6 straight hours, and he's starting to nod, and there's no other dude than me. So like it like fortifies you a little bit. And then now we're like driving to Windsor, Ontario to play with our friends and Among the Rest, and you're in a car by yourself for 20 hours because there's a snowstorm on I-80 and you have to go 2 hours out of your way to be able to find a fucking road that's open. It like sculpts you. And you're playing too, dude. Mm-hmm. You know, the road chops, boys. You know about road chops. You're in a place you've never been before. You want to get invited back. You want to establish that contact. And you just attack what you're doing in a way that you just, no shade, but you just wouldn't do if you were playing Herman's, dude. You know? You just attack what you're doing in a way that you wouldn't do if you were playing Trailside. You know? Like, you're like, we will be back to South Carolina. Fuck you. I don't know what I was throwing there.
So now I know how the bass drum got broken.
Yeah. Now you totally understand.
Yeah. Tying it back together there. Together. But
a lot of it honestly is just like Jeremy for the most part, just like having to figure out how to get here.
Right.
Just because he flies in for every show that we do, pretty much. I don't think there's
That's
been
hard as fuck.
I don't think there's been a single show where Jeremy doesn't come in.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We were about to have one in March, but we're kind of like reassessing that one a little bit.
Right.
Just to kind of make it a little more like concrete, I guess.
Right.
Because it was supposed to be a 2-part thing, but kind of still figuring that part out. But yeah, I think a lot of it is just Jeremy, but he is the trooper and he comes out just like him. He makes it work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
tough, dude. Ira Knox operates like that because Rick lives in California.
Rick lives in California.
And they play out here. I mean, 10 times a year or something like that.
He's out here all the time.
Yeah, he's out here quite a bit. So those are the ride or die homies right there, dude.
Yeah, straight up, dude. So that, again, just an even further level of respect because you're traveling from Denver, Jeremy's traveling from a different state, and you guys are always able to make it happen. That's pretty good.
It's all for the love of the game.
All for the love of the
genuinely,
game.
like, I love this stuff. This is my shit. I love this.
You know what, man? And in a world where, again, there's such focus on like releasing content like in this consistent, predictable way that the algorithm gods like so much, it's easy almost to overlook the fact that this is also like emotional processing. This is psychological and emotional metabolizing. Art is a way that it's a tool that you use to process the world around you and the things that are happening in your life. And so, I don't know, that just feels so good to think of like, oh yeah, like dude lives out of state and guy lives an hour away. And no, yeah, we play every show. Like we just make it happen. Because you need it, dude. Again, we don't really talk about religion or politics on the show. So to stay within those parameters, I'll just say, especially now, it's important to have tools as powerful as art and music sort of to just help you order and metabolize your inner world. You know what I mean? It's Fun way to do it, that's for sure.
So I've got a question for you guys. We usually try and steer, especially when we have bands on, we usually try and steer into gear at a certain point in time in the conversation. Okay? And I like how the
this
microphone
motherfucker's
immediately...
cracking his knuckles. He's like, gear, you say?
I like
it
how the
is not
microphone
me.
immediately gets passed down. So my question for you would be, is do all... How do I say this? Do each of you have a particular piece of gear that you would say you cannot live without? It is integral to your sound.
It's sort of an easy question because we just use Axe-Effects.
Yeah.
So that's really like the big piece to what we have.
We really just try to keep it like as simple as possible with that.
Simple with it being the most.
Because I like to just set and forget. I know he handed me the microphone like I was gonna go off or something, but I'm definitely not that guy.
All I do is hit the drums. I just go ooga dooga. I put my things up. I take it down. I go. I don't gear. I don't know. Do you guys have your rack?
Yeah. I don't know about you. Do you use anything?
Well, since we want to talk
specifically?
about gear, we should talk about the in-ear rack, I think.
Yeah, I mean, so
Two Axe-Effects into a Behringer X32 with, I'm not sure, GXL. I'm not quite sure what we use for that.
the wireless. I can't see. I mean, this is the thing is I don't even remember that. But yeah, two Axe-Effects is running into a X32, and I mean the in-ear game has just like completely changed us. We played for 4 years maybe without them.
Yeah.
And
It's just revolutionized the whole thing.
gosh.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Hear everyone
It's like
now.
night and day.
I don't have to go to the sound and like.
Right. You just have it. You just
I
have it.
just have it. If I need to pull up, I just go to my phone, pull it up a little bit, and go back into the song. But like, yeah, having it in ears is amazing. And I think I think everyone should learn how to play without them.
Yes.
And then once you learn how to do that, get the in ears.
Yeah.
And it's a game changer.
Yeah.
But man, having that stuff is like a godsend.
Well, and I feel like the in-ears thing, do you guys do a click live when you play?
not yet.
We've talked about it.
We've talked about it, and we're thinking about doing it for newer stuff. But because we played the old stuff without it for so long,
Right.
we do get a little bit flowy with tempo. And,
Well, I mean, there's very I mean, it does, for whatever this, I know what you mean. Sometimes in the live situation, like tempo can float a little bit, but it seems baked into your guys' music that there's like, and now here's a 17 BPM jump up. Like it seems just baked into the floor of the music.
Yeah.
So, Kyle and I have a click in my ear, and Kyle essentially just plays to me, but I love the click, but our songs are the same tempo all the way through. Mergers and Acquisitions is the only track I can think of where there is a shift in tempo, and before we start playing at the altered tempo, there's a whole big atmospheric buildup, so it's not even like turn on a dime switch.
Yeah, it's subtle.
Yeah,
Let's put it that way.
it's subtle. I'm just playing the same tempo the whole time. So I wonder about that. If you ended up deciding that you wanted to play to a click live, and if you decided you wanted to play to a click live, would you continue the sort of organic like, guess what, we're slowing down here, or guess what, we're speeding up here, and just sort of automate the alternative tempos? Or do you think that it would influence the way that you write music? A part of the reason why I asked that question is because the way that I write, I don't know if I've said this on the show before, but it's pertinent to what we're talking about, and there's no shame in it. Part of the way that I write my double bass parts, I don't have a lot of, because we fly, because we're fucking two dudes. We're just two men getting on a plane flying to, somewhere in Montana or South Carolina or something like that. I have no idea what kit I'm going to get, and I don't want to try and be pulling off on a kick drum head that I've never played before. So I have a lot of slower, more pattern-oriented parts. I'm not ashamed to say that that's part of how I write the music now. I'm factoring in the fact that I'm going to have to play these parts on a kick drum that could be different night after night. So would it be just art full steam ahead will make the click work no matter what? Or would it be like, we're going to streamline what we're doing tempo-wise?
I mean, I did have something to say. Yeah, I mean, it would probably be, it would definitely be with a lot of the automation. I don't think it would influence how we write stuff really. What I usually play with tempo is in writing, in Guitar Pro or whatever, and just kind of trying different stuff to see what fits the song the best.
Yeah.
But as for like going into it live, it'd just be kind of general vibe. It's going to get more technical on like when we're trying to record something like that.
Right.
But going live would be just kind of flowy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just where my mind goes. The logistics of having to, like if you write a song that has 3 tempo changes, I'm all like, what would that be like? Like trying to get 3 different clicks.
It would definitely. I don't even think I wouldn't do it on 3 different tracks. Probably. It'd be something you had to stay on. If we went that
Right.
route, like, and that kind of scares the shit out of me. Like, one flip up and you're missing a message.
Right.
Yeah, when we were recording the EP, Tsukiyumi changed his tempo, like 20 different times? I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Anyways,
It was a lot of times.
we wrote that
It was a
song,
lot
and
of
every time
times.
I'm like, why did we do this? Anyways. But we went to this studio called The Spot, and I had a click track in my ear the whole time, and they programmed that stuff just fine.
Right.
So it can be done. I don't know how hard it is to do that, so I know it is possible.
Right.
I'm kind of with Doug. It's full steam on the art ahead.
Yeah.
Like we'll make the
Figure everything
Yeah,
else
we'll make the
out
computer
after.
figure out later. But we're not gonna change the way we write just because we want to be holden to a click track. In my
Right.
opinion.
Right.
I don't know how you feel about that, but
Yeah, a lot of the music, the way I write stuff, and a lot of the riffs on the EP are from, when we all wrote stuff together. There's a couple things that Tyler wrote on there, and a couple of bass parts that Doug wrote when he was on the bass.
Right.
But the way I kind of approach music is if it gets stuck in my head,
Yeah.
that's usually when I know that I wrote a good riff that I want to keep using.
Right.
So I'm always kind of trying. It feels weird because it feels like riff salad sometimes.
Right.
But I feel like the more the more recent songs that we've been writing are less riff salad, and they're more like structured out ideas. Because a lot of the stuff that I wrote on the EP was stuff I wrote in high school and before, when I was still kind of figuring out like musical identity.
Right.
I think that's really big in like making your own sound, is trying to find out the things that you like doing, or the things that you do more proficiently than X, Y, or Z or whatever.
Right.
But that's a big part of it too. I think, is just figuring out what makes you special as a musician.
Right. I can say whatever I want about adjusting the way that I write kick drum parts and stuff to accommodate the fact that I'll be playing different kick drums. But at the end of the day, Kyle's and a huge part of our sound has always been, like I say this with pride, fellas, so I can say this to you guys, you will appreciate this. This and $9 will get us a cup of coffee at any Starbucks in the country, but we actually cracked the Meshuggah code. Like, we can't play a ton of Meshuggah songs, but we figured out how to write in that displaced style that they figured out. We're not the only ones, but I can confirm that we've been doing it for a very long time. We figured out how to do it fairly early on. We call them wisdom parts for a story that I will regale you with another time. But that also just is the coolest stuff to us. You know what I mean? Like, we put on like Meshuggah from the 90s, and that still like makes the fireworks in our brains go off the most. So it's love of the game, baby. That's love of the game. It is convenient to prefer writing that way when you don't know necessarily what the kit is going to be like that you're playing every night. But we'd be doing that stuff anyway, man. So. I love it. I feel great about it.
I've got another one for you guys. So, obviously, with as artistically diverse as Jellyfish Farm's music is, I think a lot of people would like to know what your influences are. Who are your influences?
You want to go on like a line or?
Let's go in a line. Let's make it easy.
Let's start with Gareth. Let's give Gareth some talking. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I've been in the band the least amount of time, so I've done the least writing in this band. I like a lot of metalcore, I guess would be mostly what I listen to.
Hell yeah.
Been still listening to Loath's album from 2020. I Let It In and Took Everything. That's probably my favorite album of all time. I also like a lot of like prog metal stuff like that.
Dude, Loathe has come up in 2 episodes in a row.
Yo, Loathe I knew nothing about, and then I saw Courtney LaPlante from Spirit Box wearing a fucking Loathe shirt, and I was like, okay, dude. Like, the Spirit Box was on tour with Linkin Park. If Courtney's wearing a Loathe shirt, so they just Loathe. We're hearing about them all the time, man.
I'm that guy. He used to play since we're talking about gear, and I'd love to talk about gear more. He played a Gretsch G5260, and I bought that just so I could learn as many of those riffs as I could. Super posery, but I did it.
No, everybody's got some.
Yeah, come on.
Dude, everybody's got some version of that.
I guess so.
I play Iron Cobra pedals because Dave Lombardo from fucking Slayer plays Iron Cobra.
Okay, that's fair.
Everybody's got some version of
I
that.
play on Iron Cobra just because of CHON, you know, like.
I thought you were gonna say because of Pathos Logos.
So you meant to.
And Pathos Logos.
I play Iron Cobra because Paul from Pathos said Dave Lombardo from Slayer.
Fuck yes. Yeah, and then I don't know. I like a lot of ambient music as well. Like I've been listening to a bunch of Tim Hecker lately.
I recognize the name. I don't really know anything
He
about
did
it.
a soundtrack for a movie called Infinity Pool.
I've heard of Infinity Pool.
Not David Cronenberg, his son. I'm totally spacing that guy's name, but he did that movie, and I really loved it. And so I've been doing a lot of that, and just kind of learning how to program a lot of that stuff as well. Yeah, that's I guess.
That's awesome, dude.
In terms of like writing influences, I don't know. I'm really into the proggy stuff, like BT Bam and Periphery.
You were literally wearing a Between the Buried
yeah.
shirt. So.
And I find like whenever I'm trying to write, I definitely get into that loop of like trying to like. I'm just basically like overwhelming myself with getting in over my head with trying to make it like too complex for my own good. Not like as just like a necessity that it needs to be.
Yes.
But like that's what I find fun is like figuring out the puzzle pieces and how to write stuff like that.
Yes.
Like you said with like cracking the Meshuggah code.
Straight up.
Yeah. So I think Pray Free BT Bam pretty much where I go to with that. But then like other musical influences like Van Halen. Van Halen is like how I got into
That's awesome.
the reason I picked up a guitar. So like that's where my other writing styles tend to be is just like simple and poppy. I like to be either end, not really in the middle.
If I'm honest
Yeah.
with you, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle and I are both the same way. There's a very good blend influence-wise of hyper-complicated music and then like dudes just with an acoustic guitar, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I think I'm probably more on the middle side of things like Gareth. And then maybe these guys are where like the math rock stuff.
So I love music. I listen to everything and anything as long as it's good. If you hop in my car, you will hear Tom Misch, and then you'll hear CHON, and then you'll hear Kendrick Lamar, and then you'll hear like Necrogoblicon and like stuff like. So I love all types of music. But my influence really come from a lot of Latin roots.
Okay.
Because when I was, my parents are Latin and everything, there was this band called Maná from Mexico.
okay.
And that's actually, that drummer is what got me into drumming. And then there was another band called Café Tacuba, who's also from Mexico.
Okay.
And they got me into like the whole side of like kind of putting your own flavor into a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Because what they do is they take a lot of a lot of different clubby beats and stuff like that, and just kind of sneak them in there for you, and you don't even notice it. And I love that stuff. Okay. But they also use a lot of like the native music that is around Mexico, and they also use it in their music. Yes. Just as a kind of a way to put that out. So that's another influence. However, my dad also used to listen to Van Halen, AC/DC, freaking Twisted Sister, Quiet Riot and stuff like that. So I grew up with that, and then my mom used to listen to all the poppy stuff from Mexico from the 80s. So I kind of got like this whole weird like
you did.
Growing up, like this huge list of just music that I used to listen to. And then I kind of started venturing out on my own.
Yeah.
And at first, when I was in high school, I loved me some Paramore. I love me some Used.
Dude.
I love me some
Riot record is a desert island record for me, dude.
Some freaking Chiodos, some like all the old school emo stuff. Yeah. I was there. I was there when the magic was written. I was there. I was there.
Dude, you know what? Now, did you mention that one of the Mexican bands was a band called Maná? Mm-hmm. So were they like a big band, or were they like relatively local? There's a reason why I'm asking the question.
No, so they, as far as Mexico is concerned, they're like one of the biggest bands over there.
Okay.
Yeah, they are like nationally touring, and they come out here all the time, and they do like United States tours. They're world touring kind of stuff. Same with Café Tacuba. The one that was like that is, I would say, niche, but really like only like certain people know about it, is Caifanes. And Caifanes is like literally like a prog band from like the 80s. So before anyone was doing prog, they were doing prog. And they were if you listen to a song called Afuera, the whole song's in a 3/4 polyrhythm, and they just snuck that stuff in. Yeah, and like you could very much tell that it's there. But they were like one of those influences of like, oh wow, like you could do this. Yeah. And the other influence for doing stuff like that was actually Tears for Fear.
Oh, that's great.
Tears for Fear. Yeah, because like exactly, and everyone's like, oh my god, that song. I'm like, that song is not in 4/4. I hope you guys realize that song is not in 4/4. And like I was talking to a jazz instructor at Guitar Center when we were talking about bands, and I told him like that song's not in 4/4. And he goes, yeah, it is. I'm like, go ahead and play it in 4/4 then and see what happens. And he's like, dude, it's not. I'm like, I know. It's a quarter note triplet the whole way through. Yeah. And like most people don't realize that because they just snuck that stuff in there. And like, right. I love just sneaking little things like that. Sir. And just like making people kind of groove to it. And like, that's what I'm all about. I just want to sneak that stuff in there.
You see, the reason I had asked the question about Maná, so I was wrong. They're a very big deal.
Yeah, they're
a very big band. There is something that I think about all the time, and I'm sure that you guys all have your own versions of this. It's a shared experience that no one can share. You'll know what I mean in a second. There's big bands that everybody agrees upon are all powerful influences and stuff. And then there's like the band that your buddies were in high school that nobody knows who that band was other than the other kids that you went to high school with. But you went to all the practices and you watched them learn how to be a band. You know, like everybody's got some version of that. Like there was a band when I was in high school called Break Stand. And it was all just my buddies, dude. And one of my major influences is this band Break Stand that was only a bunch of fucking high school kids in the local high school that I went to. But I went to all their practices and I sat down and I played the Kid Corey's drum set and I watched them be a band and I would watch them write music and decide, I made decisions about how I wanted to write based off of watching them do their thing. Mm-hmm. And it's just weird because everyone has some version of that. I feel like you have a look on your face.
It wasn't in my high school, but strangely, for me, that was Polyphia.
No shit.
Because, like, when I first started listening to Polyphia, they were some unknown band. And
they hadn't blown up.
So I saw Polyphia multiple times, and every time I saw them, they were getting on bigger stages. So I started seeing them on, like, really small stages or, like, relative smaller stages than what they're at now.
Yeah.
I saw them at, at the Ogden ones. I saw them at
the Moon Room or
the Moon Room and stuff like that, like the smaller stuff. And then like they kind of went on tour with CHON and like so then I watched those guys like go from like this little niche band and now they're just this powerhouse in the guitar community.
Everybody knows who
everyone
is.
I was talking to a coworker and he's like in his 50s.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I do IT, and I was resetting his password. And my one of my passwords, because I have to make them up for them, I was like, your password's Polyphia. And he goes, do you listen to Polyphia? And I go, do you listen to Polyphia? Like, hold on, back up. You? So I think that band for me was Polyphia. I got to see them from when they were getting like 2,000 to 3,000 like likes and stuff, and all of a sudden they're getting millions of likes, and now they're like hanging out with Tosin Abasi and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's just insane. So I think that you
is
describe
like
is
your frame of reference.
Yeah, it's my
for
frame
that.
of reference. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I have a similar kind of story with like as Hugo, growing up in like a Mexican household. Like, you know, the first time I remember listening to music, it wasn't even in English. It was in Spanish. So I grew up a lot with my grandma, and she used to listen to all kinds of just very like bombastic, like big band Mexican music, and
No shit.
she was always about like dancing and
Yeah.
you know, having a good time and stuff. And then as I got older, I got real angsty, so I got the same kind of thing with going through like the emo like music and everything. And then that kind of like pushed itself into being into like metal. So I would listen, you know, that we had a big like Sumerian core phase, me and Doug and Tyler.
Oh, no
you know, where like the golden era for like Sumerian when like Veil of Maya was on, Born of
Yes.
Osiris,
They
After the
used to be
Burial.
such a heavy
Yeah,
label.
like Structures. There were so many good bands that I remember wanting so bad to be like not a part of that, but want to like build up to that.
Yes.
And then you know, I found out about CHON. I worked with my dad one summer, and it was in North Dakota, so I was super isolated. So I just didn't have my friends or anything. So all I had was like a computer that my dad had a hotspot for.
Oh,
so I was
shit.
just looking up YouTube videos one time, and I found a playthrough for one of the CHON like songs. And it wasn't even like CHON that did it. It was a person who was covering a CHON song.
Oh,
and so I was
no
like, this
shit.
is crazy. And then I looked up CHON and was like, oh, this just became my entire personality.
That's kind of how it happened for me too. Like it was my friend Antonio who showed me CHON, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be me for the next 5 years. All right, here we go.
I think then is kind of when I realized that like anything can be music.
Yeah.
As long as it's got a structure or a melody or something that you can kind of just grab onto,
Yeah.
like that's a big part of like music. It's just like wanting to listen to this thing that makes you feel a certain kind of way.
Yeah.
And that's so powerful for me that I'm trying to think of that every time I write anything, which is why I'm like, I only keep stuff that I remember or keep stuff that I go back to, that I don't mind going back to.
You raise an interesting point just about the finding your own style, you know, cultivating your own style. And I feel like that's something that it's like a lot of musicians, particularly in the modern world where there's a lot of concern for marketability and everything, there's this concern about getting too complicated. And people begin to lose sight of the fact that there is an art form to writing stratified or complicated or detailed music. You can write a piece of music that has an insane amount of detail in it that can make you crack like a fucking egg, dude. You can that music can make you weep that has lots and lots of detail. And I feel like I don't know, people are scared of that these days, dude. Don't be scared, baby.
I think it's a lot of that is social media, in my opinion.
That makes perfect sense.
Because because this was happening to me a while back, and I was like, why am I just like not feeling this anymore? And it was because I was watching drummer after drummer after drummer after drummer on Instagram just be these perfect takes, like do these incredible like all this stuff, and then like I was like, well, I can't do that. But then what people miss is that like, hey man, like this is an art form, and that probably took that guy months to get down.
Right.
And that one take that you see there probably took him a couple days to get down.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people are losing their way with music.
Yeah.
Is that they're trying to be perfect at all times in an art form that is imperfect.
Right.
Music is not perfect. It will never be perfect. And when you hear perfect takes, there was most likely 3 or 4 takes taken.
1,000 probably.
Yeah,
of it.
1,000 fucking takes.
Put together. Like when we were recording our EP, I didn't do all those takes and ones and no. That was like
right.
each song had like 2 to 3 takes, and they just took the best parts of those takes and put them together.
Right.
There was
Right.
a one point where they took a sample off of my foot,
Yes.
off my kick pedal, just because they're like, no, we just need that just in case we need to mesh a couple things together.
Yeah.
Which they totally did. But in I think nowadays everyone's getting so stuck in this weird like I have to get this perfect when it's just that's not how it is. Like you have to work for that, and then the perfectness that you see comes from multiple different takes.
Right, it's true. There's an insane amount of pressure on everybody because again, the fucking algorithm, guys. Kyle and I have talked about this in previous episodes. You can watch 15 videos in a row of world-class musicians who can do stuff you can't do before you've brushed your teeth in the morning. You know what I mean? Because there's no sense of having to fight to access that stuff anymore. It's not, it used to be harder to find footage or content of musicians that were performing at that extraordinary level. Now you're like eating a bowl of cereal on the toilet, watching a 12-year-old play a single stroke roll at 250 beats a minute, and you're all like, what the fuck?
And then you're like, throw it in the volcano. It's fine. I don't want to hear that.
You're right.
So I'll expand on that too. In a way, it's almost sad. I think because there's a bunch of labels that are out there chasing people who become famous for music on reels or famous for music on shorts, and the labels are running out to sign these people. But what they have found out and why they've stopped doing that is because these people aren't writing songs, right? It's just a clip, right? It's just a clip. It's a one moment in time, and you can't really monetize that as much as a label would like to. Whoever made the video can, through YouTube or Facebook or whatever. And so for me, that's why I still tell youngsters coming up, man, who are starting to learn their instruments and stuff like that, and they say the same thing. They're like, I'll never be as good as this 8-year-old kid from China or Japan that I saw on TikTok. And that shit's not important. What is important is developing your own style.
Yeah.
Because if you say fuck everything else and just focus on your style and developing your style, everybody is eventually going to come to you because people are busy running around trying to copy everything else. So if you can take the time to hone your own style, nobody's going to give you shit. Nobody's going to tell you you're a bad guitar player. Maybe you don't have 1 million views on YouTube. You know what I mean? But you can still go out and fucking play a show and people will come and see you. Yeah. Whereas the YouTube stars are having issues playing shows because nobody's going out to see the shows.
They can't play that stuff perfectly. And no shame to those people. Those people are incredibly talented. Holy crap, I couldn't do half the stuff they're doing. But there was a point in time when I don't know if you guys have noticed all these YouTube drummers and all this stuff where everyone was kind of just playing the same exact thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
There was this weird thing where couple drummers started losing their groove. There was this just super technical stuff. There was no groove to it.
There is a drummer who comes up in my feed periodically. And what's crazy is that he's as a kit player, he's mid, dude, but he's got million-mile-an-hour single-stroke rolls, and that there's particularly in the world of metal stuff. Kyle and I talk about this all the time. It's when the single-stroke roll is a part of how you're keeping the time. If you want to play in Immortal or something like that, it's not like an AC/DC beat, dude. Or if you wanted to play for the Black Dahlia Murder, singles on hands and feet is how you're keeping the time. If you can't do a Euro blast beat running kicks underneath it at 240 or 50 or 6, because Alan is faster. Actually, isn't that Alan Cassidy?
Oh, Alan Cassidy.
Alan Cassidy's faster than their previous drummer, so he's like 260, 270, 280. But that's the basic time of a Black Dahlia song, dude. So obviously, like that, there's no two ways about it. Hot take: the single stroke roll is the most prized technique, not just in drumming, but in people who admire drumming. It sucks in a certain way because the single flammed mill and the Swiss triplet and the 9-stroke roll are beautiful snare drum
Listen to these
movements
nerds.
as well.
I think we lost all of these guys over here. They lost them.
This is for us.
Drummers only, guys.
They lose me all the time talking about
I know,
weird
it's their
gear
turn
shit.
now. Now we got to talk about flam tabs.
The flam tap is a beautiful
and
rudiment.
how the most important rudiment is the
But-
paradiddle and
The paradiddle diddle is a beautiful.
yeah.
Also sounds like a Pokemon. Let's be adults about this. But the point is that doesn't get rewarded the same way. So the algorithm wants to see that kind of playing, and so that's how you end up in a situation where I will not name names. I'm not going to throw shade in a direct way, but you can have somebody where, like, yeah, he's got thousands of followers and thousands of views, and isn't actually that inspiring as a kit player, but he's got perfect pad technique, and that's, thank you, social media.
Look at Nick Nocturnal is another example of that. He seems like a very, very good player, but he's come right out and said he's like, I'll never do live shows. He's like, I don't want to do a band that's out on tour. I don't know why, but I have my thoughts on that.
I think in some way it might slightly, Kyle, be related to the point that you were making about like these YouTube artists struggling to fill venues, physical brick and mortar venues. That's not how people found them.
Right.
That's not how people found Nick Nocturnal, dude. He just posted a bunch of fun metal content for a million years, and he's a great artist. He's a great singer. He writes cool music and stuff. But I kind of get it, dude. Like, in addition to just the hassle of arranging a tour and this, that, and the other, all the logistics of it, would it be effective for him?
I think the perfect person that does all this stuff, plays live, and does YouTube is Alex Rudinger.
Right,
because this dude, he went from playing in the Faceless, and then all of a sudden he leaves the Faceless, plays other. All of a sudden he's in Good Tiger.
Yeah, that's
leaves Good Tiger, does it all. The dude has played so many genres across, and he can do it all. And whatever he is playing on YouTube, he is playing live.
He can do it. He can actually
do it.
Yeah.
And now, I admire that dude so much. I'm like, damn, bro, holy crap.
Yeah, he doesn't suck at the drums. Shout to Alex Rudinger. Hey, buddy, you don't suck at the drums. Come be on the show and tell us about how you don't suck at them. He's very, very good, dude. He's very good.
I got so scared. I thought you were going to say Joji.
Listen, I love Joji. Don't get me wrong, dude. I love my Joji. But play some time, Play some time.
I don't want to sound like a dummy, but who or what is Joji?
Oh, boy. So Joji is this, I think he writes, ballads. I don't even know how to describe his music. But he just makes sad boy music.
It's like atmospheric
sad boy music. So when you're really low, you listen to some Joji, you're like, yeah, I totally get it, dude. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You're in your feels.
Yeah. But this dude started out as Filthy Frank. Which is he used to be this before YouTube
skits.
Yeah, when you guys remember when YouTube was a lawless land.
When they had no what's the word I'm looking for,
community standards.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, exactly that. So Joji was I would say one of the pioneers of doing YouTube as a career.
Oh,
because it do have 8 million subscribers for a long time, and he was. But don't get me wrong, the content he made back then, totally not kosher.
Right.
It would not. It would not fly today.
Didn't age well.
Yeah, so I think he left. He's always had an interest in music, and you can tell in his videos.
Yeah.
He was always a musician at heart, but then he left doing that because I think he saw the writing on the wall. That's like, yo, man, like this ain't gonna work out. This ain't it. So then he went off and did this whole thing, and he kind of put out an album, and then he became Joji and started releasing over and over and over again. And all of a sudden, this dude's selling out the Ball Arena.
Damn.
Yeah, he's from Australia. He's selling out Ball Arena. He's playing all these massive arenas. He's not playing stages. He's playing arenas now. Yeah. So he's about to drop a new album in February, and I'm like, oh, thank God.
No more.
You're ready.
No more
I'm
sad
ready.
boy.
You're ready.
I'm ready. But yeah, no, that's who Joji is. He's just one of my niche interests that I just absolutely love.
It all kind of comes down to just like trying, I guess. Just making it work. Keep on going.
Keep going.
Yeah, there's always something you can do. And, aside from, touching back on like inspirations and stuff, a big inspiration for me is like video game music.
Yeah.
And that became a big part of why we added Jeremy to the band originally. And, when we were playing with him, it was a video game convention that we got asked to do, which was super sick. So we got to learn a lot of like video game music and just kind of perform it with Jeremy. And before he'd even joined, he had told me like, oh, if you guys ever need a trumpet player, let me know.
Okay.
And then we got asked to do the video game convention, which is VinCon. It's a Loveland store, like kind of organizes, like Loveland Game Shop. They're called Games Ahoy, but they ask us every year, and hopefully they ask us this next year too. So
This year.
This year, yeah.
It's 2026.
Yeah, I forgot. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh wow, yeah. But so that was a big part of it, just kind of asking Jeremy to be another layer to our music essentially. And he did so well, and he has perfect pitch and stuff. So
Okay.
the way
We've tested it.
we've tested it. Yeah.
I've been to the panel. What note is this? City goes, that is an F flat.
Easy
I'm like,
as
holy-
pie for the guy.
Oh my God. No,
It's like nothing.
and then,
Give the register too.
I know.
Yeah.
So there's times when I'm like, all right, let me play you this stupid, complicated jazz chord. Oh, that's an F major with a suspended A. You're like, what the hell?
And it is.
And it is. And
And
it's
it
like,
is.
it's
Yeah.
insane. I'm like, all right, you got the tism. Got it.
So it kind of like blends itself really well with just like our music. Honestly. So it kind of blends itself well with all of our music because when I'm writing or when we're like trying to incorporate him into stuff, we don't really think of him as a trumpet. We
Okay.
almost think of him as like a third guitar.
Oh.
Or a vocal line, yeah. So it's really just like
Well, that's voice leading, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, that's
essentially,
really that's what that is. It's voice leading.
So it's really cool to just have all the layers within like just what we have because it's become such a mishmash of stuff before that
Yeah.
it's just becoming more of a mishmash of stuff. So I'm just really excited to see like what happens now because
Yeah.
the stuff we've been writing is more I don't know, just more cohesive, I would say.
Yes.
Because it's got more of a theme, it's got a central kind of thing, and it goes and it explains that and everything. But with Jeremy, he's got more of a jazz background, so that's gonna heavily lean us back into like the fusion kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that kind of pans out. There's just so many things that I've got a couple songs. We got a couple songs already finished. We actually got to perform 2 new songs at our last show on Halloween. So that was really cool. It was one that we had Tyler jump on stage for. And Tyler and Doug and Tyler was the majority writer of it, but when he left Jellyfish Farm, we'd been talking about making our song before. He was like, I want you guys to have that song because it's kind of like, our other song, Jelly Jam, is, I think of it like the theme song to our friendship. So that is how I feel about that song. And with Clouds is the one that Tyler has. It's like the sister song. They're like sibling songs. It's just like another part of like, that time period that encapsulates everything that just feels like, everything that happened at that time was in this song. And I can feel and hear all the things that happened during that time. And
So
stuff.
almost like the liminal space between like the emotions tied up in that moment and concept writing.
Right.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, so it's really cool having that, and it feels just like a cemented piece of him with us.
That's
so
cool.
it's always been about this band for me has always been about having fun in being friends and getting along together. Because, me and Doug have been friends for so long, and then me and Hugo have been friends for so long. And then Gareth, of course, it's so crazy because when we started introducing him to the band, it was almost like he was always part of it.
Like a glove.
And then the same with Jeremy, too. When he had him jump in, it was like the same thing. It's like, even in our friend group, he kind of just mashed so well that it was like he'd been there the whole time.
Dude, that's so fascinating to me, and I am so happy for you guys. Kyle and I talk about this all the time. You're talking about a 5-member band where like everybody passes the vibe check, like it's instant like friendship, and it feels like you should have been here the whole time. Fellas, you don't need us to tell you about how hard it can be to get your fucking lineup right, man. It is not a mistake that Kyle and I are just two dudes,
Oh yeah. We've been in full bands before, and it's the last when we were in the Caveat, everything's going fine. We're playing a CD release show. Place is packed out, and Nick, our bass player, walks in. He's like, "Yeah, got a job at a company that we probably shouldn't name right now, but got a job at this really big company, so I'm gonna fly out at 6 a.m. tomorrow." Left all his gear. Dude, like, played the show and was like, bye.
And the line that we toe is, "What do you mean you're moving your wife and daughter to Sparks, Nevada? Don't you want to stay in our Denver metro area prog band?" And like,
We're about to make big things happen.
Guys, he makes so much money. It's a company.
You know what?
So much money.
He makes so much money, dude. He does. The fucking guy makes so much money. He's a husband and a father. He has to provide for his family. Nobody begrudges him anything. But it's more just circling back to the point that Kyle was making of just like that. Now we have to start from the ground up all over again. That was sort of at the core. When Kyle and I got tired of having to start all the hell over again, dude. So it's like two dudes, just you and me. We're just going to be two dudes. And truth is, ever since we did that, we have done everything we've ever wanted to do as a band and more. Mm-hmm. But it's just... You already know you have something sacred, just good for you, dude, because y'all know that shit is hard to find.
Yeah, definitely hang on to it.
It's really hard sometimes.
Yeah.
There's times where, everybody's human, everyone's got a schedule, everyone's got a day job and stuff like that. So it's like trying to coordinate that is still kind of difficult. But, I think... always, it's for the love of the game.
For the love of the fucking game.
I like that.
We just
now
like being
kiss.
Okay, fellas. Well, we are getting close to the end of our time here. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you at? On the socials? You guys got a website?
We have socials. Instagram is just Jellyfish Farm Band. I think Facebook is just Jellyfish Farm. Probably put band in there too. Why not?
Just throw band in there.
Yeah, we are on all streaming medias, all of them. Whichever one you want to listen to us to, we're on there.
We're on
I can't imagine that there's not any other close like Jellyfish Fams or.
It's really funny because the only thing that's close enough to us is actual Jellyfish Farms.
No. There is a lighting company called Jellyfish something. So when you search that up,
sometimes that'll pop up.
Yeah, but no, listen, we're number one, so that means we're doing our job. We're the number one search, so it's okay.
Otherwise, our SEO is pretty good.
All the way. Exactly. Our SEO is
That's great. Well, boys, it's been a pleasure. We'll definitely have to have you guys on again.
Thank you, John.
Good luck in 2026. Everybody out there watching, if you've made it this far, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Buy some merch at www.pathosandlogos.com. Sign up for the fan club so you get some free stuff every month. And Paul, what do we say at the end of the show?
We hope you're fucking ready. Go eat a plate of spaghetti. Inside, I'm just confetti.